This is Deli, 7-month-old mini Australian Shepherd. This is the session I did last week with Deli. Meeting dogs, never totally comfortable. Again, last week's session, then I did another session with him, which we'll get to in a minute. I made a video about this session that you should go back and watch. Very uncomfortable with people, very uncomfortable with dogs. Growls at Prince right there. Prince is being a little much. I kind of want him to chill. Now we're going to go to the session today. What I want you to get out of this video is when and how to introduce your fearful dog to other dogs. That's it. Most trainers will tell you a dog like this should not be with other dogs. I do not subscribe to that in any way. Deli, for the first time in his life, and I leave the original audio in here when I asked the owner this question, for the first time in his life, played with another dog during this session. His second session, he played with another dog. Most trainers, almost all of them, would tell you that this dog should not be playing with other dogs because putting other dogs with this dog will scare him and will set him backwards. And the dog will regress. And you need to find the threshold and don't ever let him be overwhelmed. That is not true. I have the owner's pet Prince to let Deli know that Prince is a nice boy and we love Prince and we invite Prince into our lives. So, first it's Prince, right? First it's my dog, which in many ways is the toughest dog of all the dogs I'm going to let out. He's the biggest, he's the strongest, he's the most intimidating of all the dogs. Now we're going to bring out another dog. This is a puppy. This is Loopy, and Loopy is the dog that Deli eventually plays with. So he's desensitizing right now to dogs. Super important. Why do I bring Prince and Loopy out while holding the collar or like holding him on a leash? I don't want them to overwhelm Deli. I agree with the other trainers in that way. The dog does not need to be overwhelmed. You should not take this dog to a dog park when there's 20 dogs in there and let dogs run up to him. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that at some point you have to let this dog be a dog, let other dogs run up to him, let him deal with it, let him be a little stressed, and let him get over it. You can only do this with good dogs. And that's why a lot of trainers are like, oh no, you shouldn't get this dog around other dogs. One, because they're scared. They can't truly read other dogs' body language, so they never know when something's going to happen. Two, they don't have access to dogs. I have access to dogs. I let out Sitka and Bernie, two little dogs. I don't even let them out and hold their leash because they're tiny dogs. They're not going to run up to him. Whereas Loopy, the black dog, will fully run up to her. Sorry, it's a female. Fully run up to her. Prince he's dealing with it. Okay, he's getting used to them. Desensitizing, that's why I'm holding Loopy. That's why I hold Prince. Get used to these dogs at a safe distance where you can avoid Deli. But at some point, we're a little over it. You got to deal with life. We can't protect you forever. You are going to be with other dogs. They're going to run up to you and you will be fine. The same with kids. You will be okay. I know you don't want to go to school when they're 4 or 5 or maybe first time at school, but you got to go to school and you'll be just fine. We can't keep you home forever. We can't protect you forever. So watch Deli's body language, hiding behind dad, hiding behind mom. I'm telling them to walk away. I told him that last session. If you saw my video about 2 weeks ago, now I let Loopy go. A lot of pursuit. That's what I was not worried about. Deli's got to deal with it, but there's a fine line on when to let a dog run up to another dog. Now I'm letting it go a little bit. Deli's fine. Deli's okay. This is what Deli needs. Other trainers have told this couple even, oh my gosh, you should not let your dog with other dogs. He's going to be scared. He's going to run away. You got to just keep him safe. Don't give him treats around dogs. But that's not what I do. And I love firsts. So I asked the owner today, I said, has your dog ever played with another dog as soon as Deli started playing? The owner said, no, never. And I left the original audio in there for you to hear, which is coming up in about 20 seconds. So when to get your nervous dog, not your aggressive dog. Deli is not aggressive, obviously. Now watch the play right here, guys. That's play. Boom, it started. That's play. That's play. That's all play. That's not fearful running. It's a little, and Prince comes in, almost takes his head off. Now here's the original audio right about now.
Is this the first time you've ever seen her play with another dog?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Ever.
You heard it. I'm not even watching. Like, I know I'm not worried about anything. I'm going to let Deli play with these dogs. Nobody's going to get hurt. Deli's not going to be around. Look at Deli's happy. This is happy Deli. Play. That's all play. A little overwhelmed, but mainly play. Okay. When to get your dog with other dogs. When to take your dog to a dog park. Oh no, Joel, dog parks are horrible. They're the worst places ever. No, parks can be horrible. They absolutely can. They can also be very good. I told these people, because I sat down with them and I said, how are you going to get your dog with other dogs safely without coming to my facility? And they looked at me and said, we have no idea. We don't know friends with dogs. And they said, what about dog park? And I said, sure. There's a dog park near me, and they live kind of near me, that has 3 dog parks. Small, medium, large. Usually, one of the small, medium, all the dogs will be in. Okay? They won't be in both. So I'm like, walk around the dog park. If you don't like the vibe, which is a good chance, 70% of the time you're not going to like the vibe, go home. Just go on a nice walk. I stopped Loopy. It's too much. But if there's 2 little dogs running around, take your dog in. Take them in. And watch your dog like a hawk. I always watch my dog at dog parks all the time like a hawk, because my dog's never going to start something. And so another dog does something to my dog, I want to be able to say, I saw it and that was on your dog. Okay, so dog parks can be good for that. Walk your dog around the dog park. You like the vibe, go in with a dog like this. Why? Because they have to get around dogs. You're not going to fix this dog unless it's around dogs. You're going to have a scared dog forever. So you got to take some chances in life. There's risk reward when it comes to dog. I'm not talking about 20 dogs. I'm not talking about 5 dogs in a dog park. Dog parks often have 2 dogs in it. You're telling me we can't take this dog into a dog park with 2 nice dogs? No. You're never going to convince me of that. I understand body language, so I can see how the dogs are going to be before we get into a dog park. Not everybody knows that, but most people can tell a nice dog. And you bring your dog up to the fence, you let them say hi to the dogs. If the dog freaks out at your dog on the fence, you don't go in that day. Okay, swimming, why do we get almost all the dogs to swim? Because it's good for them. They're facing a fear. None of them the dogs that want to swim, we don't get them in. It's the dogs who don't want to swim, we're like, yeah, you got to swim. They're facing a fear. They got to face fears. They're facing a fear with dogs. They're facing a fear with people. They're facing a fear with water. Then they get over it and they go, oh, that wasn't so bad. I swam and I didn't die. I met that dog and I didn't die. I met that person and I didn't die. It's all the same thinking in their brain. So we're going to do it again. So if you have a fearful dog, you should first get them around other dogs through a fence or with the other dog on a leash, and the dog should desensitize. Okay, we're going to let Guapo in a minute. The dog should desensitize to the dog without the dog being in their face. You then need to make a call and say, okay, let's let these dogs together. The dog has to be a nice dog. You let them together and you either stop the other dog, and I know this is hard, guys. I realize that no one has a facility with a bunch of dogs, but there's ways to do this in life. Family dogs, friends dogs, dog parks with only a couple dogs in it. There's ways to do it, okay? Go out and try to find friends with dogs, okay? So you then desensitize the dogs. You then let your dog with the other dog. If it gets too much, you stop the other dog, or you get your dog out of there, which is just fine. Say, okay, we'll live to fight another day. Now we let Guapo in. He's meeting, I don't even know if he sees Guapo yet, but he sees him right there. I think he sees him. A little nervous. You're not going to get a dog that's good with other dogs if you don't get him with other dogs. It's just a fact. He's not going to grow out of this and be great with dogs. All right. We have goats next door. So fearful dogs, you want them to see different things. Here's a goat, right? This is the same reason we get them in the pool. Deal with this fear. Yes, this thing's weird. Yes, it looks strange, but you got to deal with it. Deli, you got to see it. There was a little bit of barking. I told the guy to kind of touch Deli's flank area when she barks, just to kind of say, knock it off. It's enough barking. Okay, I don't think I have the barking in here, but there was barking in there. So that's the session. If you have fearful dog, take out of this what you can. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel.